Hey friends, it's Kiana. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I have a little story time for you. This is the story of my childhood fear of toilets. And this is actually the story that made my boyfriend fall in love with me. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna get a little meta. So it's a story within a story. So for context, the first time me and my boyfriend hung out, we were at Olive Garden eating pasta, swapping stories, and I asked the question, what was your childhood fear? He gave a very rational, reasonable answer, and then he asked me the same question, and I responded with toilets. He looked at me kind of funny, and he was like, "What do you mean?" And this is the story I told him. So when I was between the ages of 4 and 5, I was spending the night at my babysitter's house. The way the house was configured, they had their bedroom and they had a little kid's bed set up for me in the living room in front of the TV. I had a Pikachu blanket, I was all snuggled up in my PJs, and the TV was still on. I ended up falling asleep watching, I think, The Simpsons or something, and went into a nice peaceful sleep. And then I woke up with a start. I woke up in a panic, and I sat up in my bed and I looked up at the TV. The TV was just static. I looked over at the clock and I remember it being around 2 in the morning, which was very late for me. I was between 4 and 5. I was a little Kiana. And then I looked back at the TV and I noticed a show was trying to come through. And the fuzz of the TV started to dissipate as the camera focused on the show that was on. Somehow at the time, I recognized that it was a telenovela. So it was dramatic. They were speaking Spanish, which I didn't know much Spanish at the time. And so I didn't really know what was going on. I just know the fuzz dissipated, the camera focused, and there was drama. People were arguing, people were upset, people were crying, and I was like, what is going on? What is this show? And so I sat up and I watched. As I watched the show, there was a couple arguing about something very serious. I still had no idea what was going on, but I was locked in. I was watching. And they both turned dramatically at a doorway, and another character stepped in. This character was terrifying. He walked in, he was wearing all black. It looked like a cloak or something. And the camera panned up and his skin was blue. And then the camera panned up further to his face, and there wasn't one. He had no face. He had long white hair, and somehow he was still talking. I froze when I saw this character on the screen. I was terrified. And I decided that I was done watching that show. I didn't know how to turn off the TV, but I hid under my blanket, and I felt like I didn't sleep a wink. I don't remember what exactly happened next in this story. This is one of those things where the memory got a little jumbled. But for some reason, I was under the impression that this character resided in the sewer. He lived in the pipes. He also had a pet monkey for some reason. In my childhood brain, that made sense. But he lived in the pipes, he lived in the sewers, and I was under the impression that every time you flushed the toilet, if you stay on the toilet for too long, he can grab you and pull you into the sewers with him and his pet monkey. This fear ran so deep that every time I would go to the bathroom when it was time to flush, I would flush and I would run out of the room. I would run as far away as I could. And then once the toilet was done flushing, I'd run back in and I'd wash my hands. I'm not sure, but that is the story. And that is the story I told my boyfriend when he asked about my childhood fear. When I finished my story, he looked at me confused, amazed, bewildered, and he laughed. He laughed so hard, and that was the first time I've ever made him laugh. And that's how I know that was the moment that he fell in love with me. If he ends up watching this video, he might deny the authenticity of this being the moment that he fell for me. But I saw that look in his eyes. I know it to be true. He might not like it, but that was the moment that he fell for the weird girl, and the rest is history. Thank you so much for watching my story time of my childhood fear of toilets within the story of the story that made my boyfriend fall in love with me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. I know he did. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to like and subscribe, I'd love to see you again. See you in the next one. Bye, everybody.